In this video, I'm going to share the top 5 fundamentals that your business needs to be doing in 2021 to get back into kicking butt shape and be ready to take advantage of the economic opening that we're going to be having this year, and to make sure that you have the business you want to have going forward. Now, if there's anything that we learned in 2020 is that it doesn't matter if you have the best product, the best service, or if you're really awesome at sales, because if you don't have the ability to communicate, connect with, and engage with your ideal customers online and through digital platforms, you're sorely at a disadvantage with those who can. Yes, so it's been a heck of a ride going from 2020 into 2021. We've had people yelling at each other. We've had politics going on. We've had shutdowns. We've come in on the other end of this horrible pandemic, vaccines going out, and all of this stuff going on. Us business owners and entrepreneurs, it's been so hard to focus on what's really important to us with what we got going on to keep our business running so that we can have that lifestyle and that we can support ourselves and our family and keep things going for ourselves in the future. So I wanted to go over 5 fundamentals that I saw completely be exposed in the last year with people who didn't have it. And I've seen the people who did have these 5 things going on, that their businesses ramped up, thrived, and actually took advantage of the opportunity that was left with these, and were able to take advantage of the opportunity because they knew how to communicate, engage, connect, and get things going online for themselves. So let's get into the number 1, your website online. Now I know a lot of people are like, oh, website, that's not any major thing. One of the things that was exposed is that it's no longer effective just to have a plain old website, the kind that have been around as like a brochure online that people have been using for the last 10 years. The way to view your website is that it is your hub online. It should be what kind of connects everything else you have going online into one central area. It's your client-facing robot online that is selling for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all year long. It needs to be doing some things a lot better than it is, and to start utilizing your website so that you can effectively be using it and you're making changes to it constantly. So what are the top 3 things that you need to have on your website and update that immediately? Number 1, have your website display your top 1, 2, or 3 offers. These are the things that people will want to stop doing what they're doing. They want to pay attention to it, and they want to take advantage of it. So rather than customers and clients kind of seeing a website and they go and compare you to 2 or 3 others, you want them to remember your website because of these offers. What are the offers that stand out and that customers, clients, friends, family say these are the things that would get them to stand up, stop what they're doing, and take you up on that offer? Now, you might have 1, 2, or 3 of them. You might have one central one, but you need to display that on your website. Number 2, if you have this, once you have this special offer or these offers on your website that make people want to stop and take advantage of it, you should have a digital way that you're collecting that. You need to have a lead capture for someone who wants to take you up on that offer. Now, the basic way is just to have a name and email that is taking advantage of a particular offer. So you have to have an email capture form on there or a lead magnet form on your website so that the people who want to take advantage of that offer can immediately type in their name and email and claim that. Now, the more information you can get, the better on these. So there's things like name, first and last name, you get the email, you can get the phone number, you can get their address. That's like the holy grail. Now you have 4 different ways you can contact them. Some people actually have the ability to use some of these tools where they can connect to Messenger, and your Facebook Messenger will send them an immediate response back. Now, we're not saying which of these to use. We just have to say you have to start implementing that lead capture on your website. And one of the last things to start considering to have on your website is content. Now, we're going to be getting into content a little bit later on as one of the top things you need to be doing, but your website should be displaying content that you might be having on social media or some content channels like, let's say, YouTube, or maybe you have a podcast going on. Why is content important? Well, there's several factors why, and I'll get into it a little bit later. But having content on your website, since it is your central hub and your client-facing representative online, it should have any content that lets you stand out from your competition and talk to your ideal customer, display tell them about the offers you have, and tell them what next steps to take. In 2020, most people that I saw online weren't doing this effectively because it would have just taken a video or an article on your website or a podcast to let people know what's going on with your business, stay in contact with them, and use that as a communication gateway through your website. Number 2 fundamental, Google, Google, Google. Say that several times really fast. Why is Google so important? Well, it is the 800-pound gorilla in search, in online search. They say anywhere from 70 to 80% of online search around the world goes through Google. So what you want is to let Google know who you are, what you're doing, and utilize the tools that they have to offer. If you're a local small business, you got to be on Google My Business, especially if you have a retail address or your service area-based business. You can utilize that. It's 100% must do. I actually have a different video on setting up your Google business and some optimizations that you can be doing on there. Now, if you're a brand or an entrepreneur that doesn't really have a local business that has an address and you interact, you're doing business everywhere on the internet, you still need to get on Google. And it's as simple as starting with setting up a Gmail account with Google. Go to google.com, sign up there, and then from there you have a Gmail account. Why that is important to entrepreneurs and business owners, now that you have the Gmail, you can set up your Google Analytics, you can set up your Google Search Console, which is the old Webmaster Tools. You can also set up Google Sites, which is something I know so many search engine optimization experts use. Set up a Google site, which is a little bit of a reflection of your website, and you can link directly to your website from it. Also, you can set up Google Docs. With Google Docs, there's some really cool tools in there, and it also lets Google know that you are an entity. It lets you know your brand name or your business name. Then Google Docs, you can utilize Google Docs with that same Gmail. And then most importantly, if you're a local business, you're in Google Maps. You can utilize Google Maps from that same Gmail account. And lastly, YouTube. YouTube is owned by Google. So if you're going to be doing content, or if you're going to set up some content through YouTube you're going to post on social media or onto your website, you do that with the same Gmail account, sets up that same YouTube account, and now everything is combined, and you're letting Google know that you're that entity, the same entity, and you're using all of these Google platforms. So if someone wants to search for your business name online, your brand, products or services that you're offering, or find you on local search to find your location, you have everything combined in the one Google property. Check out some of my other videos that I have on Google My Business Setup and other Google setups. Number 3 fundamental, social media. Now, this is one of those topics that everyone's heard before, and it's not that important that you get on every single social media platform. But if you think about it this way, in the history of mankind, never has there been a better opportunity for you to be able to get on an app that's handheld, like a cell phone, or on your laptop, or from the comfort of your own home, in your pajamas, in your bed, watching Netflix, that you can connect with friends, family, and your ideal customers, and letting them know what's going on with your local business, what's coming up, what new products or services you have, what specials or offers or seasonal things you have going on. And if there's a shutdown like we had last year, that you've taken the time to develop and curate a connection with your audience and those people on these social media platforms so that you can stay in business. It's that simple. It's not about learning technology for the sake of learning technology, be on social for the sake of it. It's about how you can help your business survive so that you can provide for your family and yourself and live the lifestyle that you want to live. So there's all of these social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, they have TikTok now. There's something called Clubhouse that you can connect with on, Snapchat. There's all of these platforms. LinkedIn is another great one. Twitter has been around forever. But just going and first of all, subscribing to them and claiming your business name or your brand name on there is very important for search engine optimization, and then connecting that to your website, even if you're not using it. But if the ideal situation is that you are minimally using it to have your friends, family, and acquaintances know what you got going on. Maximally, if that's even a word, you're curating content, putting it out there regularly, creating a following, and interacting and communicating with your ideal customers on a regular basis. Now, number 4, this is an exciting one for me because I've been starting a YouTube channel now, and I have clients that I've helped start podcasts and other channels as well. And content, specifically video content and audio content through podcasts, is red hot right now, and it's not going to go away anytime soon. It's another one of those things that historically never have we had a better opportunity to start learning how to have video content or audio content out there about things that are going on in our lives and our business, making offers, making connections, creating partnerships and relationships with people who've never seen it or heard of us and may never be in the same personal, physical space as us. So I completely am encouraging you. If you've never done it, or if you've had an interest or think that you might want to start doing it, I don't care if it's as simple as taking a video of you doing something at your work daily and just starting to practice creating content. Right now, one of the main ways that people can know, like, and trust somebody is seeing content from them, specifically video or listening to them talk about their subject matter through a podcast. People are doing that at higher levels than ever. In 2020, we saw that. People got on YouTube in record numbers. People were doing podcast downloads in record numbers. If you know who Joe Rogan is, he took a YouTube platform of just him talking and interviewing people to getting it purchased by Spotify for $100 million. That's how powerful content is. There's people you've never heard of with YouTube channels and podcasts that are living an amazing lifestyles and having highly successful businesses just because they started doing content. So that's one of the number one things and fundamentals I would say, just start doing it. You're going to stink at first. You're going to stink less and less the more you do it until someday you're very good. It's a quote from Garrett White, somebody I stole from online. And then lastly, number 5, and huge importance to start building a list. The list of customers, a list of leads, a list of people who said, hey, yeah, I'd like to hear more about your business. Here's my business card. Whatever it is, start creating a digital list of your customers. Why is this so important? I have heard from countless 6- and 7-figure a year entrepreneurs and up 8-figure a year that having a list is one of the single most important things they've ever done in their business. I know internet entrepreneurs who you'll never really know who they are, that all they do is they have a list of 50, 100,000 people that they've generated over 10, 15, 20 years time. And all they do is market directly to that list with digital products or physical products or whatever, what have you. And they have an amazing life just doing that. So if you're a small business or an entrepreneur, you got to start getting that list together. Now imagine in 2020, those business owners that I had to hear from that had never created a list, and when the state or local governments started shutting down the businesses, they didn't know what to do. They were at a complete shock and dismay that they didn't know how to interact with their customers anymore. They had not created lists. They didn't have an email list to send out to or an email system to send out from. They didn't have a huge following on social media. They didn't have content out there that had followers and subscribers, so they could just do one quick video and say, hey, I'm still around, and here's how you can do business with me, or here's what I have going on, or maybe I'm shutting down for a month and taking a month off. Whatever it is, they didn't have that. So a lot of them panicked, and many of them unfortunately went out of business or had a very hard time and struggled financially. So list building is attached to all of the previous 4 things that we talked about. It's involved with your website because you're going to have lead generation forms on there, a way to collect someone's information other than just asking them to call you. If you have your property set up, you're also doing the same thing on there in your descriptions. You're saying, here's where you go to take advantage of an offer, or visit my website, or visit my social platforms. If you have your social platforms set up and you do them effectively in your descriptions, in your posts, you're generating leads, you're building a following on social media that then you can message. Ideally, you're taking them off of social media and all of these platforms and having them collected as a list. And if you're doing content on a regular basis, they're already getting to know, like, and trust you. And then it's really easy to get them onto a list of some sort, whether you're giving a free thing away or a special or promotion that they have to take advantage of. It's a great way to start building your list because they're already liking you and knowing you from your content. And lastly, with everything else you built, you can distribute your content out through there. You do a video, you can have it on YouTube, you can embed it in your website, you can share the video through your social media platforms and build a list with all of that. So to wrap things up, those are my top recommendations on the fundamentals of what you have to get going on in 2021 to make sure your business or your entrepreneurial endeavor is crushing it and kicking butt again. I know because of some of these things I was doing effectively and other things I wasn't doing very much. So I'm not letting that get me down again to the next time that there is a shutdown or a major issue or a recession. I want to make sure that I'm doing all of these things to the best of my ability also so that I don't get caught behind again like last year. And I saw so many people take huge advantage of the opportunity or the gaps in the market because a lot of people weren't able to do that online. So looking forward to 2021. I hope some of this helped. Like and subscribe, share this. So I'm going to be doing a lot more tips, tricks, and strategies for small businesses and entrepreneurs from the 7 years of experience that I've had owning a digital agency and working with customers that with websites, social media, graphics, logos, and more recently we've been launching YouTube channels and podcasts. So it's really exciting times, and I'm looking forward to helping you stay on track and share some of my story going forward as well. So thanks a lot. Stay tuned, and we'll see you next time. Take care.